What's up, guys? Welcome to bparlay Week 14 NFL Picks. Hope everyone is doing well. I am your host, Tanner Kern, at TannerKern_ on Twitter. I'm the betting guy here at bparlay.com. And you know what? We win here at bparlay.com. The bparlay army loves to win, and that's what we did last week. We went 12-2 against the spread. Again, we don't make money line picks. Money line picks are for scaredy cats, except if you bet the Detroit Lions to win on Sunday. That was awesome, and I bow down to you. You are a god. Anyways, we went 12-2 against the spread last week. The spread is the toughest thing to bet, and that's what we did, and we won. 12-2. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. All right, now we got some chirpers in the comments. I want to address the chirpers. Chirp, 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 chirp. Hey, I say, hey, I went 12-2, guys. I announced on Twitter, whatever. I'm 12-2 against the spread this week. They all flock to the comments in the YouTube. They all flock and they flock and they flock and they say, hey, Tanner, you suck, you suck, you suck. Well, you know what, guys? You know what? That just fuels me. That makes me better. And by the way, I love reading it because half you guys can't spell to save your life. But anyways, you're not part of the bparlay army. You're not part of the army. The army of the people backing me. The army of the people riding with me. The army of the people that have been on these videos since day one. Since day one, have grown this channel from 0 to 2 point whatever we're at 1,000 subscribers. To the moon, baby. To the freaking moon. Anyways, that's my little rant and raving for the day. I'm feeling good. I got the juice flowing today. I'm ready to win some damn money here in week 14 of the NFL season. Now, it is week 14. Time is starting to run out. Yes, you need to live every day like you're dying in life. Here's my motivational quote. I'm going to be Tony Robbins today. This isn't the regular quote, so don't think it is. You need to live every day like you're dying, okay? We need to bet on every single NFL game like it's the last damn game we're ever going to bet on in our entire lives. Yes, that's my motivation for the day. We need to seize the moment. We need to take advantage of every opportunity we're given, and that's what we are going to do in week 14. Let's keep it going. Let's win money, and let's make it happen. 12-2 against the spread last week. If you want to fade me, go ahead. I don't really advise it here. The only thing you should be fading right now is my hockey picks because those suck. I will not hide that. They are not good. But NFL, we are on point. 12-2 against the spread. Gotta love it. All right. Join the bparlay army. What are you waiting for? Why have you not joined the bparlay army? Like, share, and subscribe. When you like, share, and subscribe, guess what we get? Cool stuff. Look at the screen today. Look at the screen. The production team works hard on this stuff. Look at the screen. That's because people have liked, shared, and subscribed these videos. Do it, do it, do it. These videos were getting 10,000 views at one point, guys. They're starting to teeter down a little bit. We need to get them back up to the moon, baby. We need to get them back up to the moon. Like, share, and subscribe. That's how you do it. All right, it's quote time. Whew. It's quote time. I'm feeling good already, man. I'm feeling good. The juices are flowing today, people. Let's get it going. All right, here's the quote. It's not gambling when you know you're going to win. It's right here on the bottom of the screen. It's not gambling when you know you're going to win. Where does this come from? Well, I'm sitting in bed last week and I'm watching The Hangover. And Alan from The Hangover has this quote when he's doing the blackjack scene when he's trying to learn how to count cards in blackjack. It's not gambling when you know you're going to win. We don't gamble here at bparlay.com. We don't bet on sports at bparlay. We don't even place parlays at bparlay.com. You know why? Because we just win. That's all we do. Gambling and betting implies there's some risk of losing money. We don't have that here at bparlay.com. That's why we're going the freaking moon. If you check last week, 12-2 against the spread. 12-2 against the spread. You know what it takes to beat the house? 50-something%, low 50s. 12-2 against the spread. I wasn't a math major. I bet on sports. I bet on sports and I'm funny. That's what I do for a living, okay? But I will say it. It's a lot higher than 50-something%, low 50s. Probably in the... you know what? It's to the freaking moon, and that's what we're doing here at bparlay.com. It's not gambling when you know you're going to win. Shout out from Alan. Shout out to Alan from The Hangover for getting that quote for us. All right, let's get into the games. Also, hammer the subscribe button, just like you're going to hammer the Pittsburgh Steelers at +3 this week against the Minnesota Vikings. I'm not a big fan of the Minnesota Vikings. Not to say that they're not a good football team. They did lose to the Detroit Lions. They gave the Detroit Lions their first win, but I don't think Detroit's that bad. I think Detroit's an 8-4 team against the spread. And you know what? If you're 8-4 against the spread, you gotta love it. You gotta love a team that's 8-4 against the spread. So I'm not gonna pick on the Vikings for that. I just think Pittsburgh is really good at covering +3 spreads, as we saw last week against Baltimore. Pittsburgh is not as bad as people think they are. The only reason Pittsburgh has been bad is because of Ben Roethlisberger. If he can hold it together, they have a decent defense, they have a decent run game, it can keep them in football games. I like the Steelers at +3 on Thursday night. We're gonna start the week with a win. All right. Then we'll go Seahawks and Texans here. Again, big-time win by the Seattle Seahawks over the 49ers. I called this. The Seahawks beat the 49ers earlier in the season. I wasn't on the 49er hype train. Yes, they were running the football effectively. Yes, they were doing the right things, okay? But does that mean they were going to beat the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle? We didn't give the Seahawks much credit last week in Seattle. Now, the Seahawks got to go down to Texas and play Houston. That's a problem because you know what? It's tough to go on the road. And on top of that, they have to lay 7.5. I don't love laying 7.5. It's a terrible number to lay, but you know what? I'm not going with the Houston Texans. Not after what they showed me last week. I'm going with Seattle at -7.5. Gotta love it. Then we'll go Jaguars Titans here. Now, the Jaguars were embarrassed by the Rams last week. They're not a good football team. That's what it comes down to. The Rams were struggling, and the Rams looked like a Super Bowl contender against them last week. The Titans are coming off a bye. When you look at the Titans coming off a bye, I'm going to ride with Tennessee. I think Tennessee got embarrassed, and then they got embarrassed by the Patriots. They've been embarrassed 2 weeks in a row. The Tennessee Titans have been embarrassed 2 weeks in a row, and you know what? I'm going to ride with the Titans in this matchup because of that at -9. Then we'll go Raiders and Chiefs here. When we look at this game, Raiders and Chiefs. Now, the Raiders are unreliable. Yes, they beat the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not sold on the Kansas City Chiefs either. Now, one thing to mention in this matchup here, Kansas City did beat Las Vegas 41-14 on November 14th. So these teams are very familiar with each other in that regard. I'm not sold on Kansas City. I don't think I'll be sold on Kansas City until they win the postseason, because when you look at the numbers, they're not there right now. They're not doing the things that it takes to win. So when I see that, I'm going to go with the Chiefs at -9.5 here because they're playing an inconsistent Raiders team. But overall, I'm fading the Chiefs for my Super Bowl picks, if that makes sense. So go with Chiefs at 9.5. Then I'll go Cowboys -4 here versus Washington. I'll look at this game. Cowboys forced 4 turnovers last week on Thursday night. That was really great. It's going to be a defensive battle because I'll tell you what, the Cowboys offense is not delivering right now. We saw what they did against the Saints. It wasn't that good. It really wasn't. The reason they won that game is because they forced 4 turnovers. If they can get the offense clicking, if they can start running the football a little bit, it's going to open Dak up more, and they're going to score points. This Cowboys team is still legitimate. They don't play in a legit division, but they're still legitimate. That's what I will say about that. Cowboys -4. Gotta love it. But by the way, the NFC East is still open. There's a lot of divisions that are still open right now. Like, this is a huge game for Washington. It's a huge Taylor Heineke mania is all over the place. Huge game. I'm going to go Cowboys -4, even though they got to go to Washington. Then we'll go Saints -5.5 versus the Jets here. The Jets are really bad. I don't know if Alvin Kamara is going to play, but I still like the Saints. I know this game's in New York, but you look at what Minshew Mania did to the Jets last week at MetLife. It doesn't give me any confidence I'm going to bet the Jets. It doesn't. I think when I looked at the splits in this game, I think 60-something% of bettors were going with New York, and like that. That's crazy. That's crazy. The Saints still have better defense. I know they're beat up. Alvin Kamara hopefully plays, and they hopefully cover 5.5. I'll just tell you what, I'm not going to bet the Jets to cover +5.5. I'd rather risk it with the Saints. And I feel like a lot of people would do the same thing. Let me know in the comment section. Keep rolling here. Falcons versus Panthers. Panthers are in terrible shape right now. They don't have a quarterback. They don't have an OC. By the way, Coach O was like diminishing what Joe Brady did at LSU. And I think Joe Brady is a very good coach. I think he's going to land just fine in the college ranks. But right now he is jobless. He does not have a job because he was fired by the Panthers, by Matt Rule. I love Matt Rule as well. I think he's going to turn the Panthers around. They're still in a rebuilding phase, though, obviously. They don't have Christian McCaffrey the rest of the year. Carolina's -3 in this game. I'm going to go with the Falcons at +3. I think they have a better, I think they're, let's put it this way. I think they're a more stable franchise right now. As much as they get their ass kicked week in and week out, I think they're a more stable franchise. And just what the Panthers did against Miami last week did not give me any confidence to bet them. I'm going to go Falcons +3. Then we'll go Ravens, Browns here. When we look at this game, Ravens +2.5. The Ravens have been terrible at covering the spread. But guess what? They've been terrible at covering the spread as favorites. You're giving me 2.5 points with the Baltimore Ravens. I know they're beat up. I know they're hurt. But what are the Browns? The Browns aren't in great shape either. Baltimore Ravens, too good to resist going on the road to play the Browns. They beat Cleveland 16-10 on November 28th. It's tough to beat a team twice. I know that, but I think the Ravens are within 2.5 points. And honestly, I think they win this football game because they're a better team and they need a win in the wide open AFC North. Giants-Chargers here. Look at the Giants and the Chargers. Chargers 10.5. Again, this is a terrible number to lay. You think football scoring terms, right? You want it to be a 2.5. You want it to be a 6.5. You want it to be a 9.5. You really don't want to bet 10.5s. But I have no choice here because the Giants are terrible. They don't have a quarterback. They don't have any signs of a quarterback. Daniel Jones is hurt. Glennon's hurt. And also Jake Fromm, however you want to say it, will start. But does he realize this isn't Georgia anymore? I don't expect a lot out of him in this game. Chargers define inconsistency, though. The Bengals define inconsistency. The Chargers define inconsistency. But they're a lot better than New York. I will bet on a bad Chargers team. Not a bad Chargers team. An inconsistent Chargers team over the New York Football Giants. Chargers 10.5. Lock it up. Lions +8. Do you know how good it must feel for the Lions right now to get a win? Like, they got a win last week, and they were really good at covering the spread before this. So if they're really good at covering the spread, they're 8-4 against the spread this year. And then they got a win. Don't you think they're going to get a lot better at covering the spread and possibly win more football games? You're giving me 8-point buffer against the Denver Broncos. Now, I know we talk about the Broncos. They got a great defense, blah, 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 blah. I don't care. I genuinely don't care about that. I love the Lions in this football game. Jared Goff is rolling right now. It's going to be a low-scoring game because the Broncos' offense is not great. They do not light up the scoreboard by any means. I think the Denver Broncos keep the Lions out of the end zone, but I think the Lions keep the Broncos out of the end zone. I'm not saying Detroit's going to win this football game because they try to lose games. Detroit is great at trying to lose games. Last week, the Vikings just tried a lot harder to lose the game. That's what I will say about that. But the Lions have a win under their belt. Maybe it gives them a little momentum. Maybe they win this football game. I think when you give them an 8-point buffer, you gave me 7 against Minnesota last week, and I think Minnesota is a better football team than Denver. So I'm going to go with 8+8 with the Lions, even though they're on the road in Mile High with the whatever altitude. Everyone says it's hard playing at altitude. Come on now. They're going to be fine. They got like mass on the sideline stuff. All right. 49ers, Bengals is a pick'em game. I think the 49ers were kind of derailed. I think their momentum was thrown off last week. Everyone was expecting big things out of the 49ers. And then, you know what? Seattle, Russell Wilson just comes in there and rolls them. Or not comes in there. They came to Seattle and they got rolled. Look at the Bengals. Bengals should be embarrassed right now the way they played against the Chargers. It was close, but then they gave up the 56-yard scoop and score. They did not show up in the fourth quarter. That was the reason the Bengals lost that football game. I have to go with Cincinnati. This is a pick'em game. I'm just going to go with the home team. That's what happens. I know people have told me this year, like, home field advantage doesn't matter. 53% of home teams win. Well, it's still 53%. When I got a pick'em game, I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals. Hopefully Joe Burrow shows up a little bit. I don't know the status of the finger situation yet. Now, if Joe Burrow didn't play for some reason, I would go with the 49ers. But I like the Bengals here in this game. All right, Bills +3.5 versus the Buccaneers. Why do I like the Bills? Why do I like the Bills? Because the Bills just got their asses kicked by the New England Patriots. And we can talk about, oh, it was only a 14-10 game. No. All right, listen, the Patriots average 5 yards a carry, or 5 yards a play, really per carry. Mac Jones threw the ball 3 times. They got beat by a team that threw the ball 3 times in the NFL. It was awesome to watch. As a former offensive lineman, it got me juiced up watching that game. One of the Buffalo's touchdown drives, or they only scored one, it was given to them because we muffed a punt. N'Keal Harry muffed a punt. I really don't think it hit his face mask, but the rest did. So whatever, that's what they're trained to do. Bills +3.5 though. They're going to go down to Tampa Bay. It's not going to be easy for them. Tom Brady is playing like a powerhouse right now, like an absolute powerhouse. He looks like an MVP candidate. I think he's the front runner to win the MVP, honestly, on most sports books right now. He's up there. Bills need to bounce back. When you give me 3.5, I like that buffer a lot better. If it was 2.5, I'd probably ride with the Bucs, but since it's 3.5, I think the Bills need a wake-up call. They're watching the AFC East slip out of their hands, so hell, I'm going to go with them. Bills +3.5. Packers and Bears here. I like the Packers at -12.5. The Bears are starting a good football team. Packers are coming off a bye, and they've been one of the best teams in football against the spread this year. They only have 2 or 3 losses against the spread. This is an easy decision. I know it's 12.5. I don't love laying 12.5, but hey, you know what? They got to win by 13. They're going to do that at least on Sunday at home at Lambeau. It's going to be cold. This is NFC North football. You gotta love it. These teams are going to run the football. Aaron Rodgers hopefully has the toe healed up. He's going to be ready to go. Easy decision. Roll with the Packers. And then finally here, Monday Night Football, Rams and Cardinals. The Rams beat up the Jaguars last week. Big freaking deal. This is going to be the time where they got to show up. This is a huge challenge for them. Arizona whooped them earlier in the season. I believe it was 37-20, 37-10 in that range. Arizona beat them. That's what it comes down to. Now the Rams got to go to Arizona. Not going to end well. I think Kyler Murray shows up. Cardinals -3, easy money here. I just don't think the Rams beating the Jaguars doesn't give me a lot of confidence in betting on them. They need to beat a good team before I put some money on them. So I'm going to go with the Cardinals at -3 there, who have shown up all year and played well. So that does it, guys. That does it for the picks. Join the bparlay army so we get cool stuff, as you can see here. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Just use 3 different fingers 2 different times. That's the word I was going for. Like, share, and subscribe. And remember, it's not gambling when you know you're going to win. We're not betting here at bparlay.com. We're not gambling here because we know we're going to win. It's that simple. That does it for the video today. Have a great week. Remember, live every day like you're dying. Bet on every game like it's the last one you're ever going to bet on. That's my Tanner Kern motivation for the day. Like, share, subscribe so we get the cool stuff. And I'll talk to you next week for the Week 15. Yes, Week 15 NFL picks. Crazy to think, guys, right? But hey, we're almost there. See you next week for another video.